Hi everyone, in this video I just want to talk about this idea of this camera which has come out from a company which nobody's ever really heard of before called Lytro, L-Y-T-R-O, and seemingly it's a light field camera. Again, nobody really knows what that means. They've brought out 3 cameras, or so they say they have, or it's coming out next year for around about through $400 to $500, and it looks, bollocks, it looks like a cardboard tube with an iPod Nano at the back with a screen. And anyway, what's meant to be so amazing about this camera is that you can focus afterwards. So you can take the photo, then afterwards you can focus, or you can decide where the focus is on the camera or on the photo. To a lot of people, we just kind of like go, how's that possible? And I suppose in some way it's like saying with a raw photo, you can choose the white balance after you've taken the photo, but we all understand that. That's just because it contains all the information of all the different colours. Colours is fine. Focus points, that's where it's a bit different. These things are saying that they've got a constant f2 and they've got 8 times zoom. Okay, odd. And it's saying that when it takes a photo, the woman that's in the video, I'll put the link down below, saying that it captures 11 million rays of light. Or 11 million light rays from every direction, every intensity, everything, blah, 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 blah. What the hell is a ray of light? Are we talking about a photon? Because like a photon, 11 million photons still won't be the size of the top of that head of my pen. So what the hell is the equivalent of 11 million light rays? Or rays of light? Is it like... I have no idea what that means because it's clearly smaller than a sensor or something. I have no idea what it is. The camera itself, ergonomically, looks horrendous. There's no aperture control, which probably this camera doesn't need it. There's no exposure control. Again, this camera probably doesn't need it. There's no idea of like what's its ISO, what's its... we don't know how wide the camera is, as in like its field of view. And also, how shallow is its depth of field? Can you have all of it in one thing? I think you probably can have all of it in focus. But it just sounds like a total hoax. However, what I can say is that I know some people who are studying optical science stuff. And they've said, no, Dom, yeah, we're definitely researching that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. They were saying they're researching it. However, being able to say that they're able to stick it into a tiny little camera body and they're able to sell it for £400 from a company which nobody's ever heard of before still is sounding like a bit of a wind-up. Again, if you're watching this video in a year's time and everyone's got this camera and they all think it's great, please happily tell me how wrong I am. But just now, I'm thinking this is total bullcrap. Just so wrong. So, again, this is kind of probably, this camera, if it is a real camera and it does actually come out, it looks like a square tube. That's not going to be cool, taking that out at a party saying, oh, let me take a photo. It's like you're bringing up a bloody telescope to your eye and taking a photo like that. That just looks a bit stupid and a bit weird. It doesn't look like any camera that anyone's ever seen before, and therefore you just look odd using it. And then comes the idea of like, well, what's the big deal about being able to focus afterwards? Okay, so does that mean you just take photos willy-nilly everywhere you want, and then afterwards you spend ages deciding, oh, I want that to be in focus, and that to be in focus, or that to be in focus, or I want it all in focus, or I only want half of it in focus? It just sounds like a whole pile of faffing extra to do. Because what really makes a lot of people's photos really stand out is being able to have great focus on something, or being able to really decide what should be in focus and what in the background should be totally blurred out, or how much it should be blurred out, or how, that is the kind of creative element of photography that everyone wants to do. Afterwards, it sounds like you can just go around taking photos of this thing and just give it to an editor and say, oh, decide what you want in the photo. And don't think for a second that being able to change the focus is going to have anything to do with having a good composition or actually making a good photo in the end. There also seems to be no kind of accessories like this with lighting, flashes, or anything. It just seems, it's just an idea, it seems like just now. But I don't know, sounds like just balls to me. Tell me what you think though. Cheers, bye bye.